Our chickens
super loud.
Are super loud
oh my
today.
Goodness.
The one black Easter egger is just out there screaming. Phoebe. And it just is a really good reminder.
Why we don't have roosters?
No, well, I was going to say, when it comes to chickens or any pet, investigate
the breed.
Which breed you're getting ahead of time.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and then every Monday, we go live on Keto on the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all the different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Scooch over a little bit. We're not centered. We have a Roomba vacuum. We used to have the Neato. And
it wasn't so neato.
Well, it was old. And I had sold it, and we got a new Roomba. And it's awesome because we have the Roomba vacuum, and then we have the BravoJet, which is made by the same company, iRobot, that mops. So
something to help out with the housework.
The Roomba vacuums, and then the iRobot mops every other day. The vacuum vacuums every day. And it really has been helping. I mean, I'm actually really, really impressed by how well it's keeping, at least the main, it doesn't do our bedroom because it's got to go up and down a little ledge.
We have so much hair. If we don't have help, I could just be vacuuming 24 hours a day.
I'm really impressed by it, but every day that it vacuums, it moves the camera. It hits the tripod and slightly moves it, and we've always had it, like, it's just there. I don't have to bother with it, and now
that's so funny.
We do. So it is Friday morning. Anthony and I have to go cut grass. Yesterday was a day that if I wasn't careful, I was going to go off the rails with
stress eating.
I definitely would have. So we went to cut grass yesterday, and we got to the place where we store our trailer. And there's a note on the trailer saying you have 24 hours to move your trailer or we're towing it.
Wait, what? We pay to be here.
Right? And I've been there for years. And let's not even talk about the fact that last year we had 3 price increases in 1 year. I started off at $100 a month, and now it's at $200 a month. So what happened was, I think we had talked about it on a vlog several months ago. They were repaving where I park. And when they repaved, whoever the horrible paving company was that did the road work decided instead of actually cleaning up their mess, like, you know, where they scraped up the old stuff, they just pushed it up against the fence in my spot, which now made my spot 2 feet shorter than it used to be.
And we can't make the trailer shorter. It doesn't work like that. It's a solid structure.
It was already a pain to actually park in my spot. You have to be a really, really good trailer driver. And I've been driving a trailer since I was 15 years old. So I'm good at it, and I still would stress every time I had to park. Then they put a big box truck next to me to make it even harder. And when they repainted the lines for the spot, instead of me having a 10-foot spot, I only had an 8-foot wide spot. Well, my trailer is just over 8 feet with the tires. So now we have an issue. So she had us parking just like in the road on the other side of the street storage. And it was great because it was super easy. Pull in, unhook, and get going.
Yeah.
And, you know, she was waiting for another spot to open me. Good morning, Tabitha.
Good morning, Tab.
Well, I guess there was somebody else who wanted to park like I was, and she's like, no. She's like, this is a special circumstance. You know, he's been here for years. We're waiting for another spot. And he didn't like that answer, so he called corporate.
Thanks, guy.
And corporate...
Now, neither of us can park there.
Now came down and did a site evaluation, and she got in trouble. And so she was like, you can't park here even today. I'm like, well, now what? She's like, well, you can park out on the street in front of us, even though they don't want you there either, until I can find you a spot.
And get robbed?
And yeah, I'm like, okay.
Outside the fence?
No, you mean, you know, those lawnmowers are like $10,000 a piece. Like, I'm not really doing that.
Don't just want to park that in the open.
So now instead of cutting grass, Anthony and I spend 3 hours trying to find a storage place, and there are none. And then we found this one, which is a little further away from our house, but it's easier to park. It's only $10 more a month.
It's there.
It's probably more secure because they have more video cameras, and they have somebody who lives on site. And I'm surrounded by like $500,000 boats and $250,000 Class A motorhomes. So who's going to go after my trailer, right? So yeah, that was yesterday, and it could have easily led to stress eating. Instead, I came home and did work, and so that was really good. You just want to say hello.
Lovies.
And then we had our live stream last night, which was amazing. Went long, but it was amazing.
It was so much fun.
So I wanted to mention, so we're having coffee today. Notice no breakfast. So the coffee is just a tablespoon of butter apiece. No egg, no keto chow. And then I've got a couple of drops of this iodine because we're trying to get more iodine in. Iodine is really important for thyroid function. So
like, do I need
this
some
is
iodine?
what we use. I'll leave a link for it down below. It's the 2% iodine solution. You can get it on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. But what happened is like I didn't really eat much before my game. When I came home, I had a little bit of dinner, but then we had to do our live stream. And you had eaten at like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so we decided to eat dinner after the live stream, and that was at like 11 o'clock at night. And so we're not having a breakfast today because though we don't do a lot of intermittent fasting, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, which I believe is the proper way to do it.
We usually use bedtime and breakfast as our intermittent fasting window.
Yeah, that's the minimum window. And, again, sometimes we'll go like 18, 20 hours before eating, and sometimes we do 12 hours. But we like to keep it to a minimum of 12 hours. That is kind of our rule. So whenever we ate our last meal the night before, we're not going to eat for at least 12 hours. So since we ate at 11 o'clock last night, we're not going to eat a meal until at least 11 or 12 o'clock today. Now,
the butter will break the fast.
Butter does break a fast. So technically we're eating. We each have 1 tablespoon of butter. But the reason I'm only doing butter, if you're curious, is because butter is what's going to cause the smallest or least amount of insulin reaction, which is one of the reasons that you intermittent fast. So protein will also break a fast.
Yeah.
But though it doesn't cause an insulin reaction like carbohydrates, it does cause an insulin reaction. So does fat, but fat's even lower than having protein. So I can't drink black coffee. So we're just having 1 tablespoon of butter a piece. And it's 2 tablespoons for the whole pot. So that's what we're doing this morning.
It works.
And I got a game again today. So I'm already going to start off with some electrolytes. This is the Redmond Watermelon Lime. I have to say I've been lazy lately because we have some of the sticks of Redmond. And I've been grabbing the sticks, but the sticks cost twice as much as tub.
Right.
And the purpose of the sticks, for us at least,
portability.
Is on the go. Like, I keep some in my car when we go to Universal or something like that. Rachel keeps them in her purse, and you have them. But if you're looking to save money when you're at home, buy it in the tub. That's one of the reasons I really like Redmond, because this is half the price of buying it in the sticks.
I like half off.
What's on your schedule for today?
Well, we've got a video that I'm previewing right now, and we're going to premiere in a little bit. We've got Fearless Friday, and I need to hunt down 12 hula hoops.
Okay. So what is Fearless Friday? Because we have some people who may not know what Fearless Friday. We mentioned a lot. What is Fearless Friday?
Fearless Friday is just kind of like, I want to call it a Reader's Digest type magazine article that I do to encourage people during the week. I just take a topic and kind of expound on it, write about it, give you something to think about, give a goal for the week, and then we share that with all of our channel members and Patreon members. Yeah,
so if you're curious, like, well, how do I see it? It's available to all of our channel members, every level of channel member, as well as our Patreon members, and it goes out usually on Friday, unless something's going on, and then sometimes it may go up on Saturday, but usually it goes out on Friday. They're really, really awesome. Chris...
I think you're biased.
Chris Bear actually said that he, is a Patreon member.
Yeah.
and said that it is worth being a Patreon member just to read your Fearless Fridays.
Thanks, Chris.
So, yeah, I think that they are amazing posts. I love reading them. They're super, super inspirational.
I enjoy writing.
And they usually have something to do with what's going on in our lives for the week.
Yeah.
It's not like some, like, hey, I think people need to hear about it. It's an issue that Rachel is struggling with. And she's like, I need to talk about this because there's probably somebody else who's struggling with it as well.
Don't kid yourself. The best sermons are something that the preacher has had to deal with. So if I'm preaching about something, if I'm talking about something, I'm really talking to myself usually. Right. It's something that I've either struggled with and see the value in like tackling that subject because of the piece on the other side of dealing with it, finally dealing with it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's definitely something that we have dealt with or something that I've been contemplating.
Speaking of you're previewing a vlog that you're going to premiere. I do have a quick question. I know I need to get going because now the new storage facility is like 15 minutes further away than
a little extra drive to work.
And I'm already late. But I have a question for you guys as our subscribers. So we are in the middle of the lacrosse season, and we are even shorter on officials this year than we were last year, which basically means games every day. Because it's so busy with lacrosse season and I do all the video editing, I'm behind on editing vlogs. Uh-huh. Like the vlog that you are editing or you are premiering today
was from last Friday.
That's from last Friday.
Right.
So my question to you guys is, should we, during lacrosse season, hold back on the vlogs and maybe only give you 2, 3, or 4 videos a week plus our live streams? Or are you okay with us releasing the vlogs, but they may be 5 to 7 days after that actually happened? Because some people don't want to see, like, we may have mentioned in a live stream, and they're like, oh, you already talked about this.
And they do not like that.
So let us know down in the comment section. Majority rules. So today we're going to make hamburgers for lunch/dinner. We're going to cover them with chili. But I'm going to make them a different way. A way I have never made hamburgers. We're going to cook them in the Innova oven in sous vide mode. And that means that if you only have a standard traditional immersion sous vide, you could do the same thing. You're just going to make your hamburgers, put them in a plastic bag or preferably a silicone bag, and put them in your hot water bath. The benefit to this is you're not going to overcook them. Set them to whatever temperature you want the final internal temperature to be. You won't overcook them. It also means if you have frozen patties, then you can literally put the frozen patty into your silicone bag, put it into the immersion or into your Innova oven, and just cook it, and it takes a little bit longer because you're going from frozen, but you're not going to overcook them. That's the beauty of sous vide. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and prepare our ground beef. I have 2 pounds of ground beef in here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of this garlicky gringo in here, just probably about, I don't know, a tablespoon or so. Not measuring anything, just putting it in based on how I think I'm gonna like it. And then I'm gonna add some Redmond garlic pepper. And we're gonna go ahead and give this a good mix and then make our patties. Now, one thing to note, I don't like adding a bunch of binders to hamburgers. I wanna let the meat itself do all the work. I don't find you need to have a bunch of breadcrumbs and eggs and things like that in hamburgers. I just want my beef and maybe a little bit of seasoning. Okay, so I got 4 patties. We're only going to cook 2 now. I'm going to put these into a Ziploc bag and put them in the fridge, and we'll probably eat those tomorrow. And this is 90-10 ground beef, so it's not going to shrink too much. So we're going to make them nice and thick since we're going to sous vide them. And that means we can't overcook them. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the sous vide temperature probe and we're going to go into the middle, roughly into the middle. And we're going to put these in the sous vide. And we have the Innova oven set at 139 degrees. We've set the probe for 128 degrees is what we want our temperature to be. We have it at 100% humidity. Now we have it a little bit higher because I want to get the heat in here so that we can cook them a little bit faster. But that means that we're going to have to pull the meat out when the probe goes to 128 degrees because the oven is going to be heating hotter than what I want my final temperature to be. So we'll go ahead and stick these in here. I guess what we'll do is, we don't even have to lower the rack because we're only sous videing. So we'll put them in on the top and stick the probe in. And then we can go ahead and I hit the button. And you can see we have it set for 128. And the meat is currently at 78 degrees. So we're going to let this go until they're cooked. What you doing?
Just putting together some games and activities for this weekend, and then also working on Fearless Friday.
Okay, so the hamburgers are at 128 degrees, so we're going to go ahead and turn off the oven and get our cast iron going. Now that total cook in the sous vide took 28 minutes, if you were curious. Okay, here's the burgers coming out of the sous vide. We're going to go ahead and dry off the top with a couple paper towels, and we're going to go ahead and stick them on our cast iron and sear them.
There's only one problem with searing in the house: smoke.
Yes, well, you're putting meat onto a very hot pan, so yes, it does create a little bit of smoke.
Fogs
even
up the
with
place.
A vent fan, and our vent fan actually exhausts to the outside. But we have one of those microwave vent fans. They're not nearly as strong as the really good hood fans.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thinking about when we do finally redo our kitchen, putting in a standard, vent hood. But the problem is that microwave is literally like 5 months old. And I don't know if I necessarily want to get rid of it.
And those vent fans are not cheap.
No. So here's what we're having. We have, it started out as about a 10-ounce burger, 9.5 ounce burger. I don't know what it weighs now. This is 90/10, so it doesn't shrink too much.
Oh, wow.
And
Great
again,
job.
We cooked it in the sous vide. I did measure it before. I just forgot to bring the temperature probe over here. But we're at an internal temperature in the middle of 135 degrees. So right where we want to be.
Very nice.
Took 30 minutes in the sous vide. So obviously a little bit longer than, just cooking it in a pan. But you're going to get it the way you want. It's going to be nice and juicy.
Good.
And then we added inside some of this garlicky gringo, which I need to refill this. We have the big gallon jug. And then also the Redmond black, organic garlic black pepper.
I know that it takes longer.
Yes.
However, the taste difference is like bistro versus your normal cooking at home.
Right.
I mean, it is restaurant quality hamburger.
So now on top of that, or with that, we have a little bit of our keto chow chili that I made on Super Bowl Sunday.
Aw.
Which I'm just going to kind of pour over my burger.
I mean, it's a touchdown for sure.
And then this is some of our coleslaw. I'll leave a link for that right up here. I think we have a video on it. If not, there's definitely a link down below for the recipe itself.
Super easy to make. Great side dish for anybody.
So what I like about the coleslaw is you can throw it together. Now, I don't even measure stuff anymore. It's not a lot of ingredients. It's shredded cabbage, and a lot of times I just buy the pre-shredded coleslaw stuff.
Yeah.
And then you've got mayonnaise. We use the avocado oil mayonnaise. Recipe video right here. We don't use the store-bought because that would be a lot of the bad oils. And I don't want that. Then there's apple cider vinegar, celery seeds, salt, and pepper. And then we put a little bit of a sweetener, like liquid stevia in there, just because I like that sweet, tangy taste of coleslaw.
Me too. I noticed your friend cheese is on the plate today.
Well, this is the cheese that we bought when we were at Trader Joe's.
Super spicy.
And this is how I think we should be eating cheese. So this is just having a little piece. Now I thought I grabbed the bacon one, but this is actually the really hot one.
That is
but this
plenty
is
enough.
all you're gonna need because this is like super hot. Now we're not saying you need to have a hot one, but like getting that bacon cheddar one, eat a cheese that brings a lot of flavor. Eat something that really adds to your dish instead of like something like
provolone
or mozzarella, like something like smoked Gouda. That will add a lot of flavor. Like Rachel doesn't really like smoked Gouda, but it brings a lot of flavor. Blue cheese brings a lot of flavor. Swiss cheese brings a lot of flavor. But for years, I was just like,
consuming cheese.
Mozzarella cheese. Well, how much flavor is that? Is it adding to the dish other than cheesiness? Even like the garbage American cheese, does it really add a lot? It's something that brings flavor. Then it makes eating the cheese worth it.
Well, I want something that gives me more taste. It's not just more. More of the same. And like, yeah, is this cheese just wetting my hamburger?
Right.
Or is it enhancing my hamburger?
So
this is good.
We're going to eat, because this is kind of opposite of what I would normally do. But I have to leave for a lacrosse game in about 30 minutes. 30 minutes to get there. Game's at 5 o'clock, so at least I'll have about an hour and a half to digest before I actually start running up and down the field. But I only have one. But when I come home, we want to have a little bit of a date night. So I don't want to eat, at 8, 9 o'clock at night.
The biggest meal of the day.
And then also get that protein coma where I want to go to sleep.
Like good night and not even make it through a movie.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to turn this into a 2-day vlog. Oh, there is the timer for my bread. Alexa, stop. I got a thing of Maria Emmerich's.
Timer stopped on Joe's show.
Thank you. I have a thing of Maria Emmerich's protein-sparing bread in the oven. Of course, I always add 1 scoop of chicken soup keto chow because it completely changes the texture. But I use her original Wonder Bread. That's where I kind of start from, and then we add to that. But I don't start off with just the protein powder. Number one, it's cheaper to use regular eggs, but I also find I have less failure rate when I am using actual eggs instead of trying to go from the protein powder. It's also faster because the egg whites whip up a lot faster than trying to whip it like from the powder where you're adding in water. That's just my personal opinion. I've also found it makes it a lot easier if you bring those eggs to room temperature.
My favorite thing you just said was, I do this because it reduces my failure rate. Right? Like we all cook a little bit differently because we have a knack for certain things. And I would rather be guaranteed that I'm going to have a good result than to have to do it whatever is trending today.
Yeah.
And then mess it up and lose all those ingredients.
And everybody's different. Some people like doing it from, the original, like where you're just going right from egg white powder. I just like using egg whites. I do find it cheaper. I think it's easier. Yes, you have to separate the egg whites. But then what we do is we actually take the yolks. And we started saving them for our coffee. And instead of putting an egg in our coffee, I've been using just the egg yolks a lot of time because that actually adds a lot of creaminess.
Very rich.
And that is where all of your vitamins and nutrients are in there. And the egg yolk itself is actually a perfect 1-to-1. So I love the egg yolks in there. Sometimes we'll add the egg whites in.
The animals like it too.
And yeah, we feed them to the animals. It's really good for them. So that's pretty much what we do with it. And I just like having it that way. But I will leave a link for Maria's original Wonder Bread without the keto chow. I'll put that over Rachel's head. So I'm going to eat. Rachel's going to eat. I'm going to go get dressed, go do my game, and we'll check in with you guys tomorrow morning. It is sticky disgustingness outside.
Is it?
It's like one of those gloomy days. Like it's not sunny, but it's not rainy.
It was perfect for sleeping in.
But it's really humid. Like it's humid inside of the house. This is part of the problems with winter in South Florida. You get those occasional days of like 50 degrees, so you're like, oh, no air conditioning, open up the windows, wear a pair of pajama pants, because most of the time it's like at most shorts because it's too hot to wear pajamas.
Leisure wear.
And you get 1 or 2 days of those, and then when you get back up into the mid-70s, it's 74 degrees in the house right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is so hot in this house. But 74 is where we keep the house all year long. But you get those 2 or 3 cold days, and you're like, yeah,
Florida.
I'm spoiled.
We like to keep you confused. That's basically what we like to do. We like to have just enough cold weather to get your nose running for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So it is Saturday morning. We slept in.
We totally slept in.
Total, not Rachel and Joe.
Yep.
We didn't roll out of bed until 9:15 this morning.
I don't know who these people are, but it was nice.
So we're having a little bit of eggs. I don't know if you want any of this.
Hit me on this side.
So this is it was a total of 5 eggs, but one of them was the green egg from the backyard, so they're smaller.
We're having some evil ooze.
Scramble up, evil ooze from Hotline. We scramble them up in the Vitamix, put a little bit of salt in there, put some of the Keto Chow Daily Minerals in there.
Nice and spicy.
And then on the Blackstone, we had like 4 slices of that chorizo left. So I put that on the Blackstone, chopped it up,
that in my eggs.
mix that in. I need to go to Costco because I got my reward certificate and we need to cash that in. You can only cash it in at Costco. And so I want to go to the Coral Springs one today because I'm hoping that they have
This is
some
where
more
we
of the
got
chorizo.
it.
That was 5 Costco's within 10 miles.
They don't
There's
have
only
the same
one
thing.
that carries the chorizo.
Mm-hmm.
It's so insane. Most of them are now carrying pork belly. For a while, we only had 2 of them that were carrying the pork belly. Now they're all carrying the pork belly.
Thankful for that.
So that is on the plan for today. Coffee is the pot of coffee. It's 40 ounces in the Vitamix. 4 drops of iodine. And then we have 2 egg yolks and 1 tablespoon of butter for the whole pot.
Delicious.
And the egg yolks are just, like we said yesterday, leftover egg yolks from making the protein-sparing bread.
Yeah.
Dinner today
Is looking good.
is going to be, we have 2 more of those half-pound hamburgers that we made up yesterday.
Which were delicious.
So today's going to be pretty much like a meat day. Eggs and chorizo. We're going to have those hamburgers. And then I have a couple of New York strips right here.
Looking beautiful.
Pulled them out of look at the fat on these. Who says that you can't get some nice pieces of steak out of a grass-fed, grass-finished beef?
I feel like I want to call this one.
You want that one?
Yeah.
That one's got, this one I think is bigger. But I took these out of the freezer. We defrosted them in the refrigerator. Last night, I pulled them out. I covered them completely in Redmond's kosher salt. So that's giving that little dry
It's got a
aged
nice
look on there.
dryness.
And again, it's if you have the time. It's not that your steak won't be good if you don't do this.
Right.
But if you have the time, if you remember the day before, and you can do this 48 hours prior, the longer you let this go, the better and the more tender your steaks are going to be. What you do is you just take it out. We've shown it 100 times. Cover the whole thing in kosher salt. I promise it doesn't make the steak salty.
No.
As a matter of fact, we add more salt when we cook, and it is not salty at all. But what happens is that salt just tenderizes the meat.
Yeah.
And you can see, look at that. You can see look at how all of the, water is coming out of there. And so you're just left with the beautiful steak juices in there. So we're going to make those up today. I did want to say yesterday, I had my game when I got home. Just wanted a little something. I didn't want a really big meal. So I had one of my little 250 calorie keto brick pucks. Of course,
the new flavor.
We're on the new flavor, which it's releasing tomorrow. You're going to see this vlog after. So there's a link down below for them. But for us, because today's Saturday, these are releasing tomorrow. This is the Macadamia Madness flavor. And I love it. But are you like this? You have a favorite food.
Yeah.
A new flavor comes out.
I'm all about the new flavor.
And you only want the new flavor.
Yeah.
As much as you like the old flavors, right? I have tons of the buttered maple pecan ones. I have a bunch of chocolate peanut butter, and I have a bunch of peanut butter, because those are my favorite. I have some of every, but those are my favorites. Those are the ones that I keep stock. But with this one, I don't even care about the other ones right now.
All of your attention is focused on the new.
Yeah, so these are really, really good. So yeah, that's what I had last night, and it was perfect because, just good quality good quality ingredients and only 2 total carbs for that 250 calories. And then on the docket for today,
yes,
we need to do our online scuba portions because you got to do the online. We are not doing patty. We're doing it's a different certification. I forget what it
Monty
is. So the way this one works is you do online where it just kind of goes through a bunch of stuff. Then we go in and you have to do a swim test. You have to make sure you are capable of swimming. And then
I love swimming.
You do another thing in the pool, and I think there's 4 pools, and then you do, or 2 pools, and then 4 open waters where they take you out there. So I like the fact that we can do it online because listen, one of the reasons we haven't done it mid-February now.
Yeah.
Busy lives.
Right.
When I got scuba certified 25, 30 years ago, it was you know, you had to go like several times. Like it was like every 2-3 times a week, classroom stuff. So
Right.
you know, online stuff is beautiful. You can do the basic stuff and then you go in and they basically test your knowledge.
I love doing stuff in my pajama pants.
What you got there?
A big bag of something that's going back to the store.
So we are headed to Costco
To return these cauliflower bites.
and redeem our reward certificate, and then we'll see what else they have there. What are you laughing at?
I'm so sorry. It was just a meme that Michelle sent me that says prescription drug commercials be like, ask your doctor if this prescription is right for you. Side effects may include throwing up, peeing, and pooping all at the same time.
A lot of people ask us about Vitamix and if there's any place that they can get a good deal on a Vitamix. If you have a Costco membership right now, they're taking $80 off this Vitamix with a lot of extra accessories to it. So this is actually a great deal. If you're looking to try something new this year, we love our stand-up paddle boards. And right now at Costco, they actually have them $100 cheaper than what we paid for them.
They have it. We love this chorizo. I'm actually getting 2 packages of it right now because this is the only Costco around us that has it. $7.49 and it's delicious. How cute is this for $11.89? It's like an adult Lunchable. If you're like us and have a little bit of trouble with both salami and cheese, this is such a great individual packet. And for like under $12 for 8 of them, what a deal. If you're looking for a chip style snack to go with, say, our Keto Chow Chili, you might want to check out Hi-Lo. I think these taste more like a Doritos than a Quest chip, and they're much thicker, and you can get them here at Costco, $8.19 a bag.
What do you got?
We've got some interesting snack food coming into Costco. This is Alaska pollock. They've got some durian. I don't think we're getting any of these. We have some Chinese style sausages, but talk about loaded with sugar. Weird stuff in here. There's a bunch of swallow nest desserts. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Now this is one individually wrapped cheese product that it doesn't matter that it's individually wrapped, and I will never buy these because all I do is eat 4 of them. It doesn't matter that they're individually wrapped. One is never enough when it comes to string cheese.
So this is a great opportunity to share a sun shower with you guys. It looks like it's just rain, but
This is just a spit.
it is actually kind of blinding to even see because the sun is shining brightly in the midst of the rain.
But this is not a heavy rain for Florida. This is a very light rain. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get our steaks ready. We're going to sous vide them in the Innova Precision Oven. Just because we have a lot going on and I don't have to babysit it. So we're gonna take the probe, put it into the middle of the steak, and we're gonna simply stick this in the Innova oven. We're gonna set it for 126 degrees because we're gonna go ahead and give it a good sear, and Rachel really likes them at medium rare. So should take about 45 minutes. Rachel's gonna make sauerkraut.
We love sauerkraut so much. We actually have a recipe for our sauerkraut. I'm gonna leave a link for it up here. It was about 2 years ago that we actually made that video, and I like watching it, not just because you get the sauerkraut recipe,
Because you have a different hairstyle?
my hair has come so far. Like, you can really see back then when we weren't prioritizing protein even as much as we are doing now. You can see like bald spots around my hair, and like I was always dyeing my hair. Thanks to you guys, it's now au natural.
Okay, so we have about a 3-pound head of cabbage. First thing you're gonna do is cut it into pieces that can fit into the food processor. Don't cut yourself.
I won't.
Next thing you need to do is go over to the food processor.
Which now we don't have a dedicated small appliance for that. We actually have an attachment for our Vitamix.
You've never used this one.
I have not used this one.
So you're gonna have to be able to get it to go in. No, that's not gonna work like that. You have to put it in
Like this?
so that it can actually catch a little bit. See that little pin?
Oh yeah.
That's it. Okay, that's it. So now we just got to, the whole thing will come off, or you can press this little button here. You can actually put it down. Press that and then lift up this and it'll leave the base on the Vitamix.
I love it.
Now all you have to do is put all of the cabbage into the bowl. So again, lift out that centerpiece, be very careful. That's it.
So now what we need is about 1.5 tablespoons of salt, which is the only other ingredient to our sauerkraut.
Okay, so we've got Redmond's and there's about 1.5 tablespoons of salt in there. This is not exact. You can go over a little bit, that's okay. So all you need to do is mix it in. And then for the next 10 minutes,
get the juices flowing.
Rachel is gonna just sit here and mash.
It is actually a very relaxing thing for me to do. I love feeling like a canning wizard, but it's super, super simple. And it's just amazing how much water the salt draws out of this cabbage.
How's it coming?
It's amazing what happens. Look at the moisture. You would think I poured vinegar over this, but no, this is just the water coming out of the cabbage that the salt helped me bring out.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you do that for just another couple minutes. I have our burgers here.
Yum.
The steak is already up to 125 degrees in the Innova, but here's the beauty of sous vide, especially with the Innova. What we're gonna do is we want everything to sear at the same time. So I'm gonna go stick these in here because we know we made these the other day in the Innova.
Right.
And it took 25 minutes in the Innova. So I'm just gonna stick this in there and we won't overcook the steaks because we've got it set at 125 degrees. So we got the Innova here. It's at 125 is what we have the sous vide set to. The probe's at 124.7. And so what we're gonna do is just put these down in here and we're gonna let it keep going. Okay, I think you're ready. Next step, go ahead and put it in your canning jars. So you wanna really pack this in there. So I figure you might have 2 jars worth.
Yeah.
This was a smaller head of cabbage.
And like we said in the previous video, if you want to add some garlic to this or you want to add some jalapenos to this to make it spicier, sauerkraut, that's all it is. But I mean, this is so much cheaper than buying good quality sauerkraut at the store.
And you know what you're getting. And here's the difference is if you buy the ones that are just like, you know, on the shelf and they're not in the refrigerated section, there's no really good, you know, cultures in there. This is all about eating fermented food. So you want to have fermented food. So now what you want to do is you want to pour that water into both of them. And if you don't have enough, add water. Everything has to get covered with water. Okay, now we're going to put our lids on. Now, these are special lids. I'll leave a link for them down below. Hopefully they're still available on Amazon. But these are like fermenting lids because what's going to happen is this is going to ferment. It's going to create a bunch of gas. And these will allow the gas to escape.
Right.
If you don't have these, that's okay. You're going to put on your regular lids, but loosely. But you're going to have to come back every couple days and burp them and open them up. So what we're going to use is these because that makes it a little bit easier. So you're just going to put both of those on.
You can also put on here like how long you have.
Yeah, there's a date code on it. So put those on. There is a silicone ring on there to like help them. And now's the important step. Make sure you put these in a rimmed sheet pan.
Because they are going to leak as they let water out, like slowly, but then that water is stinky fermented sauerkraut water.
Yep, now we're gonna put these in a dark place so they can ferment. It's a week to 2 weeks. And so what we usually do is put them up in like one of the cabinets because it's the darkest place that we have in our house. Okay, burgers should be done. We're gonna go ahead and stop this and we're gonna pull out the steaks and the burgers. Okay, so we're gonna take a couple paper towels, just dry these off. That'll give me a better sear. And again, sous vide never looks great. It's the final sear that's gonna go ahead and really give it that that nice pretty look. Let me take this one to the side. This one I didn't compress it enough. Now I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Redmond's organic garlic pepper. Kind of press a little bit in on each side for some flavoring. Same thing to the burgers, even though we already had some in the burger. These are the same burgers that we made yesterday, but we only ate 2 of them. Now let's go ahead and just check the internal temperature of these steaks. I don't know if you can see the screen on there. So, yep, 124 degrees. 125 degrees. Check it here. 125 degrees. This is the beauty of sous vide because these steaks have been in there for a couple of hours. And let's see, this burger is at 123. We didn't have a probe in there, so I was just kind of guessing. And this one is at 123, 124. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and take these out to the Blackstone, and I'm going to sear them real quickly.
Through the magic of television, we have aged your sauerkraut 2 weeks. No, just kidding.
How about 2 years?
Oh, wow.
So this is what the sauerkraut looks like when it's all completely done. And again, we can it, so it's good. And yeah, so I'm going to take a little bit out of this one right here.
It's really good. Super tasty. And easy to make.
Very, very easy to make. You know what's in it.
Right.
And, I mean, literally, it's cabbage and salt. The other thing that I like to do is add things like, you know, caraway seeds and stuff like that. I mean, I am German, so. Okay, here's what we got. So we each have a New York strip steak. And let's go ahead and cut it in the middle. Let's see how they came out.
Look at this delicious fat.
Okay. Let's look. Look at that.
Perfect.
There you go. That's perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and get a bite of my burger here.
The burger is perfect also.
Yeah. There
Sous
you go.
vide.
There you go.
It's
Look
why
at
we're
that.
such a big fan of it.
And again, you don't need to have the Innova oven. I like the Innova oven because it is so versatile.
All
the
in
fact
one.
that you can sous vide in it, you can dehydrate in it, you can air fry in it, you can toast in it. You know, it just does so many things. But the fact that I was able to put the steak in there, which I knew was going to take longer than the burgers.
Right.
And get the steak to the temperature I was looking for with the probe, and then go stick the burgers in. And I just basically let it go for about 25 minutes, and then I checked it, but I knew I was not going to overcook it. The worst that was going to happen was I had to leave it in there. But the steaks were staying in there at that same temperature, and they never, ever exceeded this temperature. And we've got that perfect pink, medium, rare middle.
So good.
We have a little bit of our Keto Chow chili, which I think makes a great topper on a burger. So this is very, very meat heavy. And you are diving in.
I am diving in.
And didn't get a chance.
Sprinkle me with some salt.
I didn't get a chance to finish you off. We're going to put a little bit of the Redmond's cherry smoked salt across the top.
So good.
Smells like a campfire.
It does smell like a campfire. I think you should wear that like cologne.
There you go.
Let's see what kind of flavor it adds.
Perfect.
Instant barbecue.
Yep. And then I got a little bit of this evil ooze that I'm going to put. Just because I want flavors. Just a couple of drops because it is a little spicy.
It's pretty spicy.
I'm even going to put a little bit on my steak.
Your brave soul.
So, well, that is pretty much everything we did for today. I mean, I feel like we got a lot accomplished. Started looking at our scuba course. We're going to try to finish that whole course up this week. You got your sauerkraut going. We got over to Costco. So everything is done for the day. Oh, and we had a couple of videos. I also wanted to remind you, if you haven't seen it yet, head on over. I'll leave a link right up here for our review video of the new Perfect Keto cereals.
So good.
These things are really, really good. I think it's the best keto cereal that I have had to date that's not a granola.
Which, honestly, I don't think granola is like the perfect cereal, right? I don't want to just pour almond milk over top of granola all the
Right.
time.
And let's face it, the keto granolas, it's just a bunch of nuts and seeds.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm used to like the old-fashioned granola, but when it comes to keto granola, it's just a bunch of nuts and seeds. This is absolutely the best cereal that I have had. So the link I put up over there, and when this video comes out, they will still be having their launch sale.
Yeah.
So use the link down below, and that will get you up to 35% off of not just these things, but also any other Perfect Keto product that's not a subscription. But yeah, these really, really good. I'm very, very impressed with them.
Delicious.
So if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos that we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at our most recent video, which I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.